Hello everyone, I have Sanjay today with me. Sanjay did his MBA from IIM Bangalore. After that, he started his e-commerce platform and a consulting company. They had presence in India and Latin America, and also close to 50 consultants were working with him. He has a wide experience of close to 20 years in consulting field, where he worked with large and medium-sized companies. Currently, he is a co-founder and chief revenue officer of WorkZogo. WorkZogo is a AI-based platform working to improve the business performance through last mile productivity improvement and cultural change. Hello, Sanjay. Nice to have you. Please, can you tell us more about your company?
Thanks, Kalpesh, and hello everyone. Yeah, our company is works in the area of behavior science, and we use artificial intelligence platform to make an impact at scale. So our idea is to enable the frontline people, frontline workforce in any organization to do better, to improve their productivity and do better. Um, it all came from our consulting, meaning most of us, the co-founders, are from consulting background. And one of the things which we always thought was, while a human being has both rational and irrational side of the brain, most of the interventions, methodologies are kind of, directed towards tackling logic or the left side of the brain, as you say, or rational part of the brain. While we all know that irrational part of the brain plays a major role, the biggest decisions in life, like let's say marriage or having a child or buying your first home, I think more than rational mind, it is the irrational mind which is involved. So this is what took us to Stanford University and took us to the latest research in behavior science and neuroeconomics. We met quite a few renowned behavior scientists. Uh, to name a few, Dr. Richard Taylor, Daniel Kahneman. We took their understood what they are trying to say, and we adopted those some of those things, principles. We borrowed their ideas, and we developed a product, AI product, today, which is getting widely used in India and US. Large organizations like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Titan, Tata Motors, and all are using it for their improvement of their workforce. And they've got some very good results. So that's what this company is all about, enabling basically the frontline workforce towards better productivity, to do better, and to impact at scale, we use artificial
Great. Great. So, Sanjay, what has been the impact of lockdown on your company, and how did you tackle that? Like, what kind of strategies you had before lockdown was announced, so that you can tackle that time of lockdown?
Sure. Very interesting question, Kalpesh. I think, and this is very fresh in possibly everybody's mind. So as you know, we are a startup. We are a 4-year-old startup, and we are still not out of the woods in the sense we are still burning cash as we are talking. So when the lockdown down was coming, actually two things were happening. One thing was scare. People were scared what will happen to us. Will we lose some of our big accounts? And the other thing was, hope. No, nothing will happen. I mean, you know what, it will be only for a day or two initially, then maybe for 15 days, and we are back. So, people hope for the best to happen. And at that point of time, we came across one quote, a quote by a person who was in U.S. Military, and he was captured in Vietnam War in Vietnam, and he survived that. After 5 years, he was released and he came back to US. And people asked, like, what made you survive? So we said that very few people survived that ordeal, right? So we said that look, it is that I always knew that I'm going to be free one day and I'll be able to go back, and that's the thing which kept me going. Very good. And then people ask, so what happened to other people? Why did not they survive? And who are the people who kind of got affected big time? They said that the people who got affected big time and they could not survive are the optimists. So because optimists were saying that we will get released by another in a month's time. We will get released this Christmas, maybe another 3 months time. And when that did not happen, they became very, what should I say? Their hopes were shattered, and they could not survive that, and they perished. Now this is a big thing. So that's what early on what we did was while we always hoped for the best, but we said that let's prepare for the worst, and we created 2-3 scenarios. What happens if no impact happens? Second thing was what happens if it's a moderate scenario. We lose out some, let's say 20-30% of the. Kalpesh, just a second. Yes.
Yeah. Sanjay, you are on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So we created scenarios, 3 scenarios. For the first scenario, we said nothing happened. The second scenario was we get impacted moderately, let's say 20-30% of our business growth, and business which we were expecting get delayed. And the third scenario was even worse, like we lose out our 50% of our clients. The fourth scenario was basically shut down the company, right? And based on these 3 scenarios, we said that we will do 2 things. Like if this scenario plays out, what should we do? So we internally decided that we will arrest our burn. We'll reduce our burn, and whatever money we have, we said that we will create at least a 12-month runway. That if this scenario plays out, we should be able to survive at least for 12 months. Just one point I would like to tell you that just before this lockdown and everything happened, we were actually out in the market for our Series C funding. And the moment this lockdown happened, we understood that Series C is not going to happen so soon. At least the year is gone, right? So we had to do with whatever money we had. So we created this plan. We also created another thing, indicators which will tell us which scenario is getting played out. Is it scenario 1 or 2 or 3? What is getting played out? And most importantly, we actually told this. We started having weekly all hands call. We're reaching out to everyone in the organization, and we shared this with them. Okay. Parallelly, we also reached out to our investors, and we said that suppose this happens, this is what is our plan. So suddenly investors got a lot of comfort, and they said that, okay, let's see what happens. By end of March, it was very clear that scenario 1 is no longer true, and scenario 2 started to play out. And we said that before some clients come back and tell us that, look, we will stop and whatever. We said we need to start reducing our cost, and immediately we took actions to reduce our cost. The promoters, the founders, co-founders, we said that we'll reduce our salaries significantly. Employees were told that be ready. And as the scenario 2 played out, immediately we cut down our cost and we brought down our burn to a level which will make us survive for a long period of time. Investors saw that. Investors were so comforted by this as compared to very many other companies of their portfolio. And they said that, guys, you guys are doing a good thing, and you know what, tell us what to do. So we said that, look, we want to create a war chest. While we have created a 12 months, but we still would like to create a war chest. Would you like to contribute? They said, absolutely. You are one of the few companies which have actually been very, very proactive. And they brought in some money as founder group. We also brought in a bit of money, and we kept it in the war chest. We are not going to touch it so easily. And then we took the action on the cost side. So this was easy. This was basically under your control, and we did that. Of course, there were some not so nice discussions when we told all our employees to, some cut everybody will have to take. But we also decided that let's be human. We did not ask anyone to go. Nobody could. Entire team is actually there. Number two, we made sure that people who are in difficulty, some people had gone into maternity and all those things, we said that we are not going to give us anything. People who were earning less, we did not give us anything from them. So it's only people who we said that they can afford, we did that. And we also said it is only for 3 months. After that, we'll see if we can keep that. On customer retention side, we started, actually we understood that companies are all facing one problem. They were unable to keep their workforce engaged, motivated. Everybody was working from home, right? So we brought out new modules. We brought out lots of activities that our clients play. And actually clients started using our product much more. So the churn which otherwise would have happened, very happy to say very little churn happened. Very, very little churn happened. And churn only happened for those companies, some real estate companies and all, those really gone into a bad shape. Meaning whatever you do, it wouldn't have helped them. These are smaller companies. Today we are in a situation that because of this proactive effort and also on business development, the amount of leads, inquiries we have are significant. We realize certain sectors are going to do well, and we kind of managed, reached out to them. So our pipeline is today possibly very, very strongest ever in the history of the company. Okay. We are doing pretty well in terms of our cash, finance and all, so much so that we have decided that as the 3 months are getting over, we are actually resetting the salaries for everyone. Yeah, co-founders and founders are still taking it little cautiously. And very interesting thing today, we see there is abundance of talent available. The talent which we couldn't have got otherwise or would have been very difficult. So they reached out to us, and today we are actually building the organization because we have now new clients coming up. We have managed our finances. We have a war chest. Actually, we are recruiting people. We are recruiting good talent. So, unlike other companies, I think we've kind of done, other startups, I should say, we have done quite okay.
Good. That is really great, Sanjay. And one more thing, a lot of startups are facing a lot of problems because of lack of sales, because of the current scenario. People are not spending that much. So what would you suggest to them, in the sense, what should their approach be? What strategies they should use so that they can survive and thrive in this scenario?
3 strategies actually, very clear. 3 things. The biggest thing is you need to create a runway for 12 months. Lot of VCs and private equity funds whom I am in touch with, they are very many of my friends that manage VCs, and they keep saying only one thing, that Sanjay, there is enough and more money in the market, but we are all watching who will survive this. By December or January, the companies which will survive becomes the prime candidate for valuation as well as investment. So it is extremely important for companies to survive this time. Does it mean, if that means temporary reduction in take-home salary or some other costs, do it. Move from expensive offices to small modules. It's for maybe for 6-7 months, 8 months time, but reduce your cost and burn so much so that you are able to survive. That's on the cost front. The second front is reach out to your current investors, show them your plan, and kind of ask if they can give some more money, put some more money in it. Third important thing, I would say that you have to be relevant. So ask yourself one question: that your solution, is it relevant in the new normal? Everybody's saying new normal. So we'll have to ask a question: are we? Is my solution, is my product still relevant in the new normal, or should I, what I need to do to, modification I need to do, or change in product I need to do to be relevant in this new normal. If you don't do, then there is an issue. Lots of consulting companies are today facing will not change their way of working. They are not getting anything. In last 3 months, there's zero revenue, and they don't see any revenue coming in 6 months time. So you need to see how you can be relevant in this. Do all sorts of all your what you call your brainstorming, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
That is the
really, really good advice. One more thing I would like to know is, do you see any opportunity that has been created because of this COVID scenario or lockdown? Like there are untapped areas, like digital spending has gone up. Like that, do you see any opportunities where a young entrepreneur can tap?
I think so. See, last 1 year I've been dabbling in. Rather, I've been actually looking at US market. Personally, last before the COVID started, possibly 8-9 months I was personally in US. The difference between US and India is they are very thin field force, and most of the things are done from offices, because of digital intervention. India, we were thinking that this will happen possibly 10 years down the line. We still believe in large field force and physical contact. Today, suddenly, because of COVID, possibly that journey will get accelerated big time. So let's see, there are a couple of sectors which are doing really well at this point of time. Pharma is doing really well, like that. Second sector is insurance, general insurance, life insurance, BPO, and each one of them are looking at solutions which will help them towards remote working. So, for instance, I know a few companies in insurance, life insurance. The amount of digital initiatives they have taken in these 3 months, it is equal to what they have done in possibly last 4-5 years. And they have also created, as the new year has happened, they have created a budget which is pretty big. And everything is digital enablement, so that a remote management of workforce, remote working is possible. So let me take an example. Let's say, now let me go to pharma world. In the pharma world, one of the big change they are seeing is on the sales side. Let's say, I don't see backend changing too much, but on the sales side, it's a front line. In India, MRs reach out to doctors, medical representatives reach out to doctors. Everybody recognizes that next 1 year, not very many doctors are going to meet. So this MRs will have to move from physical travel and meeting to doctors to calling up. And this requires serious digital enablement for the entire life cycle. So in this new norm today is saying remote management. So any such remote management, if somebody can take help of this remoters, are doing very well. Like pharma, insurance are sectors doing very well. Some of the sectors are less affected, and I see BPO is not that much affected. Yes, they were affected for the timing. They figured out that work from home is the way forward, and they're back in business. Banking, financial services may take a little time to come back, and I also believe that as the lockdown opens up, auto sector is going to boom. Very many people may not, may not want to use public transport, so they will buy at least low-end cars and motorbikes, two-wheelers. So these are the sectors to look out for. And if you have any solution which you can enable them in any place, I think it should work. Another area I think it is very important is when people are coming back from lockdown to work, it's not such an easy challenge. If someone can help them to quickly ramp up to previous levels, now that's going to again help in a big way.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Really?
some of the segments like shared offices and all, travel, real estate, there'll be, I mean, it's going to take a while before those pick up again.
Yeah. Great. So one more thing I would like to ask is, what would be your advice to young entrepreneur who would be, let's say, starting up or who wants to start up? So what, let's say, a couple of things that he should follow so that like he can succeed in this startup journey. So what are the key steps he should take into account?
I think most of the startups, whether COVID or not COVID, most of the startups, if you see the biggest reason why startups close down is because of they run out of cash. That is possibly the single biggest reason for companies to close down, startups. If you're talking about startup as a service where there is no investment, zero investment, then it's a different thing altogether. But if you are talking about any other startup which requires a little bit of money, even if like people, technology development, I think cash is the most important thing. So if people are starting up at this point of time, whatever it is, I would only say be prepared for 12 months survival. Have a chest for 12 months survival and then only get into this journey, because nobody knows. The environment is very, very uncertain. The most optimistic, things will be normal by September, October, and everything will be okay. But it may stretch for a year. So anybody who's starting may have a lot of difficulty in terms of getting any seed funding from outside, if you are kind of relying on that. What was very easy, one doesn't know. And I'm not saying it will not happen. I'm just saying the scenario is so uncertain that better be prepared for that rather than start and then 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the line, suddenly you realize that you have no cash and you have to close. So creating a runway for 12 months is the most important thing. And I always say that now with this experience, hope is good, but be ready for the worst.
Great. So yeah, anything else you would want to share with our viewers?
Sure. A couple of my friends, or let's say people I know, who are running a startup, and it has been a sad state for them. They ran out. They kind of closed down, unfortunately, or on the verge of closing down at this point of time. Very bad. And the difference between them and people who survived were they kept on hoping that things will turn out to be good. Don't worry, this customer will not go away. Don't worry, this new thing is starting from next week. And never be ready for. They were never ready for if these things do not turn out. And my suggestion to everybody will be ready. Be ready for the worst. If things do not pan out as you plan, be ready how you're going to tackle. So that is the only big thing I will tell to the viewers.
Makes sense. So yeah, thanks a lot, Sanjay, for joining us.
My pleasure.
I will be listing Sanjay's account and his company's account so that you can follow and you can stay in touch with Sanjay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.